The traditional path of clocking into the same company for 40 years and retiring with a gold watch has largely vanished. Populations are aging, people are starting families later, and workers are increasingly prioritizing remote or part-time roles. These shifts have dismantled the predictable 9-to-5 hiring patterns that businesses relied on for decades. When an organization fails to account for these changes, production stalls. If an IT manager retires in 8 months and no replacement pipeline exists, it loses the ability to satisfy customer requirements or maintain its systems. Because the modern labor market is constantly in motion, businesses can no longer afford to rely on reactive hiring practices. Staying operational requires predicting personnel needs long before a critical desk is empty. This predictive strategy is known as workforce planning. It is the formal process used to forecast the future supply and demand of labor within an organization. To maintain a balanced workforce, a business must secure 4 specific variables: the right number, the right skills, the right place, and the right time. These 4 criteria are designed to serve a specific purpose. Every hire must align with the organization's strategic objectives, such as a plan for organic growth into new territories. Workforce planning acts as the mechanism translating high-level corporate goals into actionable human resource realities. To determine exactly who to hire, companies perform a sequential 4-step audit. This builds a structural bridge from current staff to a future goal. First, the business identifies strategic objectives, defining what it aims to achieve and the timescale. Second, management analyzes the existing workforce. This tracks age and gender profiles to forecast staff lost to retirements or illness. Third, they identify specific labor and skills gaps. Comparing current staff against future objectives finds the exact personnel missing. Finally, they analyze the external labor market. This scan determines if suitably qualified specialists are available to hire or if the business must look toward internal retraining. Each step provides the data necessary for the next. Without a clear view of the external market or internal H profiles, a business risks investing in recruitment for roles that cannot be filled or skills that will soon be lost. Consider the NHS in Scotland. Managing life-saving services at this scale requires an immense, highly specialized workforce that must respond to shifts in public health. In the 2009 to 2010 financial year, NHS bodies met their performance targets, ending the year within budget and showing a £43 million underspend. However, systemic pressures are mounting. Patient demand is increasing at the same time that costs for pay, fuel, and drug prescriptions continue to rise. At the same time, the increase in funding for the health service is slowing. This forces NHS bodies to find significantly more internal financial savings to maintain the quality of care provided in previous years. Within the NHS, workforce planning functions as a primary mechanism for finding operational efficiencies, allowing the service to maintain care standards while navigating these budget constraints. Successful planning allows managers to pivot ahead of technological shifts, maintaining a corporate image that attracts the specific talent needed to outperform competitors. Implementing these plans requires substantial upfront capital, from funding specialized recruitment drives to financing redundancy packages. Every decision demands a financial justification that HR must present to the board. There is also the risk of straining employee relations. Cost-saving measures like compulsory redundancies may satisfy shareholders, but they can damage trust with staff and trade unions. Necessary training programs add further complexity. Off-the-job training is expensive, disrupts daily workflow, and its exact return on investment remains difficult to measure. Management must ensure that these financial and cultural costs are outweighed by the long-term strategic benefits to the business's bottom line. The modern workforce is no longer static. Maintaining a responsive, flexible team is now a baseline requirement for any organization that wants to remain operational. Navigating this volatility relies on the 4-step diagnostic: defining core objectives, analyzing internal staff, identifying the gaps, and scanning the external market. Human resources often represent the ultimate operational bottleneck. A business can only grow as fast as its workforce's capabilities allow. Effective workforce planning acts as the strategic engine, ensuring an organization's long-term survival by aligning human capital with future goals.